Good afternoon. It's time now for the luncheon edition of news here at the GBN for today, Thursday, May 7th, 2026. Coming up in the news, steps taken to modernize the agricultural sector through the integration of drone technology. In the region, Jamaica has heightened its surveillance to guard against the hantavirus. On the international front, France has ruled out lifting sanctions on Iran while the Strait of Hormuz remains blocked. And in sport, injunction filed in the High Court. We have details of these and other stories when we return. The first segment of the news comes to you compliments, Bryden and Miners.
Looking to take your business to new heights? Advertise with GBN on our social media platforms and get noticed by our 138,000 plus followers. Reach a massive engaged audience ready to connect with your brand. No matter your business size, GBN is here to help you grow. Contact us today at admin@gbn.gd or WhatsApp 407-8458 to get started.
With the details, I am Christlina John. While the future of agriculture is no longer on the horizon, it has taken flight. The Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Forestry is making bold strides to modernize the agricultural sector through the integration of drone technology. After successfully completing the theoretical component of their training, ministry officers have now advanced to the practical phase of the program. The first hands-on training session was held on Wednesday at the Maribor Agricultural Station, marking a major milestone in transforming the way agriculture is practiced in Grenada. Officials say the initiative is expected to improve productivity, increase efficiency, and promote sustainability throughout the industry. Facilitating the training was Alex Coldren, Managing Director of Aerial Vision, whose expertise is helping to equip officers with the skills needed to effectively adapt and utilize drone technology in the agricultural sector.
The practical aspect is just us going through the drone equipment, seeing what we can do with it, what are the parameters, what are the procedures, the operating procedures, where do we store it, how do we store it, how do we label the items. So we went through that trial period last week, and now we are in the testing phase. So we want to see how feasible everything is, can it work, because these are drones that have been used all around the world. But Grenada is a little bit different, right? We have a lot of hills, mountainous areas, and as you can see in the back, our trees are big. We had a successful day today, Agras Precision Agriculture Drone. We also have another system that's called the Doc 3. We're going to be testing that out next week.
UAV officer within the Ministry of Agriculture and Land and Forestry, Leon Williams, highlighted several key areas covered during the training. He emphasized that drone technology can play a critical role in crop monitoring, land assessment, and supporting the Predia Larceny Task Force team in carrying out its duties more effectively.
There is another component of this training where we will be training officers to use the RFID tags to aid the Predia Larceny unit as well as our farmers itself in identifying and locating the animals in case of theft and other Predia Larceny issues. In total, we acquired 9 drones, which would cover Predia Larceny, Land Use Division, PR unit, and other divisions within the Ministry of Agriculture. So in the upcoming weeks, even though the training is done, the weeks following, we would be still doing the demonstrations for farmers as well as extension officers and other workers within the Ministry of Agriculture.
Forestry Officer Imhotep Mautu also expressed enthusiasm about the initiative, describing the training as a significant step forward for the agriculture sector and its future development.
The experience over the past couple of weeks have been very interesting. I have been a part of UAV training before, but this training has been a little more in-depth and I've been able to achieve a certification as a UAV pilot. In terms of the use of the machine from forestry perspective, there's a number of applications that we can utilize the machine for. For example, monitoring of forestry areas, for legal activities, for tree health, mangrove especially.
With technology and agriculture now working hand in hand, officials say the sector is poised for a smarter, more efficient, and more sustainable future. Moving along, while the Grenada Broadcasting Network team has been out and about, traveling across the country and sampling flavors from grillers nationwide, all in preparation for the highly anticipated 13th edition of the GBN Maggie King of the Grill competition. The event is set to take place on May 30th at the Montrouge Playing Field, returning to its familiar venue for what organizers say will be an exciting celebration of culinary talent, culture, and community spirit. This year's build-up has already been generating significant buzz, with organizers promising new and exciting additions to the experience. Patrons can also expect a cultural showcase with international flavors and influences forming part of this year's festivities. Chief Operations Officer at the GBN, Janelle Dick, shared more on what patrons and competitors can expect from this year's event.
Maggie King of the Grill 2026 will be epic. The competition has grown beyond a competition. It is now officially a food festival. This year, we will see participation from 3 embassies in Grenada, the U.S. Embassy, the Cuban Embassy, and the Chinese Embassy. They will be joining us on the day, May 30th, at the Montrouge Playing Field. We'll also see participation from some schools at the primary and secondary level. We'll see participation from an authentic Nigerian chef who will be bringing some of our national dishes to the festival. So it's really going to be an exciting time. We have, of course, our usual 15 grillers from across Grenada who believe they are the top chefs, the top grillers, and they will be competing. They're all very creative and they're all very excited.
Mrs. Dick explained that organizers have been meeting closely with sponsors and grillers to ensure all preparations are in place as competitors gear up for the chance to be crowned Maggie King of the Grill 2026. In addition to the grilling competition, organizers say there will be added attractions for children and entertainment from 8 artists who are scheduled to perform throughout the event. The operations manager also outlined the various competition categories that participants will compete in during this year's showdown.
Actually having an engagement tomorrow at Paper Products. Some of our partners, they have been, because, you know, they're a little bit miffed that they can't participate in the competition. They've been having their own grilling sessions at their places of business. So we did Budget Foods, I think it was last week. And this Friday we'll be at Grenada Paper Products on the Maurice Bishop Highway. And the staff members, they're excited to show us what they can do on the grill. Of course, we continue to go across the island to meet with the various grillers who will be participating in the event. We will be meeting with the schools as well to see how their preparations are going, because it really takes a lot to get to the competition. And we're excited to see what everyone is bringing this year. It's the first time we're having the schools participate in the competition.
With a blend of tradition and fresh influences, organizers say this year's King of the Grill competition is shaping up to be one of the most dynamic editions yet. And finally, on the local front, the 4H division within the Ministry of Agriculture launched a series of junior leadership training sessions across the Tri-Island state aimed at equipping young members with the skills needed to lead effectively. This week, 4H clubs in the St. George's district became the 5th district to participate in the initiative during a dynamic session held at the GBSS auditorium. The training focused on strengthening leadership abilities among young members serving in key club club positions, including president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and public relations officer. The sessions were facilitated by both current and former members of the 4-H Council, who shared practical guidance and leadership experiences with participants. More than 10 schools from across the district took part in the program, representing the primary, pre-primary, and secondary school levels. 4-H coordinator within the Ministry of Agriculture, Alice Jones, encouraged participants to embrace their responsibilities as leaders within their respective clubs and to take initiatives in serving their peers.
You are indeed the leaders of your 4-H club. You were chosen in various capacities as the president, the vice president, the secretary, the PRO, and the treasurer. So you are the ones who are responsible for taking the lead in your club, and so today we provide you with the necessary skills to help you to go back to your school, implement what you have learned so that your 4-H club can be the best 4-H club on the
4-H officer Nikian Alexander also highlighted the value of the training, noting that the young participants represent the future of the 4-H Council and the continued growth of the organization.
You'll be running the executive meetings, you'll be making decisions and helping your club reach their goals. This training is your toolbox. We want to give you the tools like how to speak clearly, how to listen to your teammates, how to organize your meetings, and so when you stand up to lead, you feel confident and ready.
Other highlights of the day included a mock meeting exercise following the training sessions, allowing participants to put their newly acquired skills into practice. Members were also officially pinned according to their respective positions and presented with certificates upon completion of the program. The Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Forestry congratulated the young 4-Hers for stepping up as emerging leaders while continuing to embody the 4-H motto, to make the better best. On this note, we end the first segment of the news, which came to your compliments, Brighton and Miners. Do stay with us for your regional outlook.
Fire up the coals, bring the flavor. It's time to crown the King of the Grill. Maggie King of the Grill 2026 is calling you. Think you got the creativity, the skills, and the fire to rule the grill? This is the ultimate showdown for chefs, backyard masters, and the food lovers alike. Step up, show your talent, and claim your spot among the best. With over $5,000 in cash and prizes to be won, the stakes has never been hotter. Happening Saturday, May the 30th. Register now. Call or WhatsApp 407-8458. But hurry.
Welcome back, and now for a look at what's making news across our region. Well, Jamaica has heightened its surveillance to guard against the Hunter virus. We have details to this and other stories in today's regional roundup from the OCM News Network. This segment of the news, which is the second segment, comes to you compliments Fortune Foods Limited.
Got something to share?
Call us at 440-1252.
WhatsApp 405-3052 or 407-8458.
Or email gbnnews@gbn.gd.
GBN News, first, accurate, voted #1.
Yo, Shaggy, one up every time. Grenada, GBN, salute. Select a play the big junior film, right back till the morning. Hey, turn up the music, make it rock and come in. Right back till the morning. Well, crowd of people follow the place and sound string up na the lawn. Dance, catch a fire.
Police in Jamaica have seized about $400 million worth of cocaine at a premises in Lindaway, St. Thomas. It's reported that a multi-unit raid was carried out in the area at about 7:30 on Tuesday evening. 23 packages containing about 1,600 pounds of illicit drug were reportedly found in a generator inside a cargo container. 2 men from St. Thomas have been arrested in relation to the seizure. Investigations are ongoing. And we stay in Jamaica, where there will be increased monitoring of cruise ships docking at ports as the government takes precautions to prevent any possible risk from the hantavirus. This as there is an outbreak of the rodent spread virus aboard a vessel which departed Argentina on April 1st. 3 passengers have died and several other passengers are said to be infected. 3 of the infected were evacuated from the vessel at Cape Verde yesterday morning. Addressing concerns about possible spread to Jamaica, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bissessor Mackenzie yesterday stressed that the vessel is off the coast of Africa. She also pointed to the World Health Organization, which has assessed the situation as low risk regarding global spread. However, Dr. Bissessor Mackenzie noted that with Jamaica being a major cruise hub, there will be increased vigilance at the ports.
Usually we have a report that is sent in when the ship is on seas to notify the country that they're coming to if there are any illness on board. And this usually is called a Maritime Declaration of Health. That is a detailed document that is submitted and is reviewed by our persons on ground before we give permission for the ship to come into port. When the ship comes into port, then there is further assessment in terms of our officers boarding the ship and ensuring that what is on the report is in fact true. And of course, in situations like these where there is, something that is happening, there is even more vigilance.
She also noted that after consulting Jamaica's health officials, it was determined that there was no case of hantavirus found in rodents on the island. And the Guyana Defense Force is reporting that one of its patrol vessels has come under fire again, the second time this week. The reported attack came while it was conducting activities along the Cayuny River in Region 7. Here's Gordon Mosley of News Source Guyana with that report.
The GDF said its patrol encountered hostile fire twice on Tuesday afternoon. Both incidents occurred in the Cayuny River between 4:10 in the afternoon and 4:50. On each occasion, the GDF patrols were escorting civilian vessels and were forced to respond in accordance with operational procedures and safely maneuvered out from the area without injury to anyone. 2 days ago, another GDF patrol came under gunfire near the Venezuelan border, resulting in a GDF soldier nursing 2 gunshot injuries to his right leg. This morning, the Guyana Defense Force said it continues to maintain a sustained operational presence along the western border and remains committed to safeguarding Guyana's territorial integrity and the security of its border communities.
Have you heard? Got something to share?
Call us at 440-1252.
WhatsApp 405-3052 or 407-8458.
Or email gbnnews@gbn.gd.
GBN News, first, accurate, voted #1.
Thanks for staying with us and welcome back. France has now ruled out lifting sanctions against Iran while the Strait of Hormuz remains blocked. The French foreign minister said not even the smallest sanction would be removed unless normal shipping is restored in the Gulf. It comes as U.S. news outlet Axios reports that Washington believes that it's close to agreeing a framework with Iran to de-escalate and allow for more detailed nuclear negotiations. All those who fell ill on a cruise ship experiencing a hantavirus outbreak is now in hospital as the ship itself and the remaining passengers sailed to Spain's Canary Island. Here's more in this report.
146 people from 23 nations are still on board the ship, which has been anchored off the African island nation of Cape Verde for 3 days after being refused permission to disembark. It's now sailing to Spain's Canary Islands, from where passengers will return home after being checked if they're fit to travel. But the president of the Canary Islands has protested the plan. While the variant of the disease believed to be responsible for this outbreak is transmissible between humans, it requires much closer contact than flu or COVID-19. And the World Health Organization says there's no need for panic.
Good afternoon, sporting fans, and now for your sporting highlights. Well, with only 3 days remaining before Grenada Football Association's election for executive positions, the legal team representing one of the presidential candidates had officially filed for an injunction in the High Court seeking to halt or reform the upcoming electoral process. The move, led by presidential hopeful and veteran banker Roger Duncan, marks a dramatic escalation in a campaign season defined by heated debates over the future of Grenadian football. Duncan, who is challenging incumbent Marlon Glean and fellow contender Leon Radix, alleges that the current electoral roadmap lacks the transparency required by GFA statutes. At the core of the application are alleged breaches of the GFA's electoral code, particularly provisions governing timelines for candidate submissions, review processes, and communication with members. Additionally, Team Duncan's slate contends that under normal circumstances, a medium notice period of 45 days is provided. However, the shortened timeline resulted in a narrow 7-day window for candidates to organize their slates and obtain the required 5 endorsements from eligible member clubs. Team Duncan argues that this compressed period was unreasonable and placed them in a significant disadvantage. The High Court is expected to hear the matter on this tomorrow. And that's your sporting highlights. Do stay with us for a recap of the headlines. Recapping the headlines that made the news today, steps taken to modernize agricultural sector through the integration of drone technology. In the region, Jamaica has heightened its surveillance to guard against the hantavirus. On the international front, France has ruled out lifting sanctions on Iran while the Strait of Hormuz remains blocked. And in sport, injunction filed in the High Court. This has brought us to the end of the luncheon edition of news for today, Thursday, May 7th, 2026. On behalf of the entire news team, I have been your presenter, Christlina John. Thanking you for listening.